already. So
Get that shit rolling.
I'm low key hot. Coaching middle school flag football. They hold my team today, and I'm not happy about it.
What do you mean they hold? What did they do?
We lost a close game, like by a touchdown. The problem was when the other team's coach is this is middle school, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's be honest. We're not changing lives over here. We're just trying to make sure the kids have fun. But when I'm watching the other coach beg for calls to the point where even the guy running the program's like, yo, Radell, like beg for calls. No, that was holding. That was a sack. Blah blah blah. And then the ref at some point, the ref's like a high school kid, right? Whatever.
Oh, word, really interesting.
So I mean, at that point, I'm like, all right, you know. But he gets to the point he's starting to influence the refs, and that's when I start getting mad. Cause I'm like, look, these kids are trying to play. They're playing their hearts out, right? Whatever middle school kids can do it, but just don't hold them like this, bro. To the point where you do the shake like them. I was like, I gave him like the weakest handshake. I was like, I don't respect you, bro, because you took this like this was a goddamn Super Bowl.
Hey man, people are competitive. I see what you're saying. I mean, I played football in middle school, but we didn't have a middle school team. We had we joined a
It's local
league.
flag
So
football for like youth kids out of the season. So people just playing to kind of play, because they need something.
wait, is it flag football or is it like like
Flag football.
scheduled?
Flag football.
Oh, okay. Oh, if it's flag football, then I don't know what you're tweaking about. Not gonna lie, I thought it was like some like
We was chilling. Everybody was chilling. But then like when you're watching the other coach get so crazy that like it's basically like me and you in a sports debate, right? And then you get to the point, okay, or not even Michael. It's like Michael. It was basically like that to the point even other parents or like kids, parents for his team were like getting like it's getting awkward and blah blah
yeah.
blah. And I'm like, bruh, we running all hitches
Nah.
down the field. That's what we running. I got a fucking 10-year-old quarterback. My guy doesn't know how to read progressions. I'm like, just throw the hitch every time. We chilling.
Yeah, if it's something that's like just for fun, like I mean, I guess be- I get being competitive, but in a situation like that where it's literally just for fun, then I'm like, bro, relax, man. It's not that serious. It's flag football. You know what I'm saying? It's not even like it's one of those flag football scouting situations where it's like 7-on-7 and people are trying to showcase their skills. This is what it sounds like to me. So yeah, man, I'd be hot,
All
bro.
these kids are
Chill.
worried about playing was it 2K, getting some V-Bucks, and like, oh my god, I got like a spelling test on on Monday. Like they're not even worried about going to high school yet. None of them are. So
Yeah,
it was
flag
it was just very
football.
frustrating. It was just so frustrating to watch.
That sounds like I'm not gonna hold you, but with that said, ladies and gentlemen, this is our reaction to
The
Mushoku
whole time.
Tensei. What? Oh
I
yeah,
didn't
we were live,
time. Oh,
100% live. They got a little football story from Coach Random. You
mm.
get it, man. But we are here reacting to Mushoku Tensei episode 1 and 2. This is my first time watching the series. Random is a expert in the series, and we've had so many back and forth debates. I, at the very least, want to kind of see a little bit about what's going on, and I do want to preface this for me at the very least. I'm not. I don't really like series where they have some loser just become a Chad because he got reincarnated. I don't like those series personally. I think if it gets some people giving them kind of false expectations. So I've never really liked any of those series. Like I don't like that one. What is it? There's a new like manhwa about look like is it like lookism or something like that?
Yes, yes, yes.
I'm like he gets transformed to this very attractive guy who can fight now. I'm like, okay, that's all right. I can see the appeal. It's just not my cup of tea. I think it makes people kind of go in Lululand and think that maybe I can wake up and become this. I'm just not a fan. But that's just me. I'm gonna give this a fair chance. I'm gonna be unbiased
Well,
though.
I think a lot of um a lot of manhwa do that, by the way. A lot of mom would do that. Would just like they wake up and they're a Chad or things like that, or they don't respect the process. Like I said before, Mushoku Tensei doesn't do that. Legitimately, maybe the time he becomes a Chad, damn near we're nearing the climax of the series. Basically, that's when you can say he becomes a Chad. But then he's struggled, he's fought, he's lost. God damn, he's almost died a couple of times. So like, I definitely see where you're coming from. That's why, at least I know I talk about it, but I'm not. I don't push it on anybody anymore. That's why I said it in like the little headline thing. I'm pretty sure if you said you don't like it, I wouldn't be surprised. That's where I'm at with it for you, Radell.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I will say that other series kind of set it up better than others. Like in on no in Omniscient Reader, that series he gets transported, but he doesn't become a Chad. He just knows the story. That's really the only difference. He was a
Mhm.
loser, just read the stories like, oh, I kind of just know all the events, but people still call him ugly. It's like I mean, he's like, bro, I can't be the main character. Where I'm like, so that's why it makes that one is hilarious, which is why it's getting an anime. Shout out Omniscient Reader. I'm for it. That was a good one too. I like beginning after the end too, because that guy was a Chad before he died, and he's a Chad after he died. I'm like, I'm here. Makes sense to me, man. Chad for both lives, so I'm here for it. But let's get the show on the road. We're reacting to episode 1 and 2. I'm not playing the opening music like when we get there because copyright immediately.
So the only thing I'll tell you, the first season kind of takes the ReZero approach, where there really isn't an opening for the majority of the first season. So
So
you
there's
the
no
only
like music in the beginning.
there will be some kind of music, but it's like maybe 30 seconds. It's basically like the title card pops up and then they keep it pushing.
Oh well, we'll skip that. Hey, what's good, Shar? What's good? Pick a side meme. Shout out, pick a side. You know they're doing
Yes.
some good stuff over there.
Mhm.
Joel had a nerd sesh on for his recent uh video or stream or pod.
Doesn't
So
he have his own show now on the Pick a Side thing where you kind of because
yeah, what they do is kind of definitely stuff that we kind of do here too, in the sense that definitely inspired what they got because they have Pick a Side, the podcast, and then they got the fantasy reaction. Then they got Joel Moran show and Riv when he does stuff. You know what I'm saying? So shout out them, man. Shout out them. So let's lock in, man.
lock in.
I'm on 0-0. Well, first, can you hear this? I'm gonna make sure you can hear this first. Can you hear that?
Mm-mm. Not at all. I can't hear anything.
It should be playing. I don't know why you wouldn't be able to hear it. Not gonna lie. Because I'm 100% sharing it.
Mm-hmm. We need to get you a new laptop, bro.
I need to get me a PC. My laptop is good. I need to get my. I've had this laptop for a while. I need to get me.
How long?
Funny story. I was doing like a podcast thing before a while ago,
Mhm.
and I probably had this for at least like 2 to 4 years. My other laptop blew up. It just couldn't take all the thing I was doing. So it blew up. I was like, bro, in the middle of a podcast episode too. It just blew up. It couldn't take it. And then I had to get a new laptop. And this is the laptop I got, fortunately.
Yeah. At least it's it's spreading because Shar had that problem with Lonnie when I think they watched the next 3 episodes of Tokyo Ghoul when they did it again.
Where you couldn't so you can't hear random. Can anybody in the chat hear it? Trying to make sure.
Yeah, I can't hear it at all.
Santo, can you hear it?
A salute to Santo, by the way.
Nobody can hear it.
Mhm.
Okay. Let me see. Yes, sir. Salute to Santo. Present. Okay. L screen. To share audio, share a tab or screen instead. To share audio, share a tab or screen it. Oh, okay. I'm here. Okay.
What did you do wrong?
So there's a setting right here that
Mm.
I'm reading. W reading, you know what I'm saying? It says to share audio, share a tab or screen instead. So if you want to share the audio, you can't share the window. You have to either share the tab or the screen.
What do you mean?
That's what it says.
Oh,
Um,
I always
so
just end up sharing. I just share the screen.
so there's three ways you can share something. There,
Mhm,
you could share the window, you could share the tab, or you could share the screen. If you
mhm.
share the window, the audio doesn't play. If you want the audio to play, it has to be the tab or the screen. That's it. Can you hear this?
Mhm.
See, yeah. Hey, they made it in tiny print, so I didn't see it the first time. But then I looked at it, I was like, oh,
It's right
okay,
there in the bottom of the thing.
yep, it's right there.
All
All
right.
right. 0-0 random. Let's lock in, man. We're gonna be here
He's
for the next like 45-ish minutes.
he's
With my
not gonna
coffee.
like it. He's not gonna like it. That's just my expectation of it. But it's one of if
I'm
you power
fine.
through, I promise you'll love the story. But the problem is they're going to be tough parts, but I think if Miles could like it, I think you like it. But you are you know what you like, and this I could see you easily not liking this. So
Yeah, I mean, there are stories that are probably good stories, and I just can't get past the premise. Like, I can't. I will never watch a harem. I just don't like things that just don't make sense. Nobody's gonna have a harem unless you're a rich guy. Like, come on now. Anyway, let's dive right into it. I'm rambling. Let's
I'm
lock.
just gonna leave that alone.
Let's lock it.
I'm just
All
gonna
right.
leave that one alone. Shard is a great show. It's an absolute great show. But let's
All
go.
right. Ready?
Yeah.
Starting 0-0, 3, 2, episode 1, 3, 2, 1, start. When was season 1 made?
It was supposed to come out in 2020, but the pandemic kind of delayed it a little bit.
So it came out in 2021? Really?
Yeah, but just to let you know, they made a whole studio just for this anime.
I feel like I've been hearing about this way before.
Well, it's one of those where, like, man, if this gets an anime adaptation, it's going to be great.
Okay.
Like I said, it came out the same time as, like, at least
Kinda
the web
tough.
novels. No, it's pick a side. It's coming out in April. That's when part 2 is coming. April 17th, I believe.
How's the volume
I'm good.
for people who are listening? Just so like our audio versus the audio of the anime. I'm gonna turn it down a little bit. Just so they can hear us.
What's your time code again?
I'm at 112.
まあいいか。どの道人生積んでたからな。でもせめて童貞
At least he has a
卒業
not
したか
nerdy
った
voice. I'll give him that. He kind of a grown man voice.
His freaking guy is awesome. His actual, because he technically has 2 voice actors. The actual one, like his real body, and then the one from his.
Right, makes sense. Kind of like slime too.
おいおい、なんだこいつ。マジかよ。100キロ超えの俺をこうも簡単に。何するんだ
Oh, so they really start. They don't even show what he looks like
なんなん
in
だ
the
まっ
beginning.
たく。
Technically, you kind of get
そんなに
glimpses.
方を諦めて。
They take their time with it.
Bro,
I'll explain after we do all this if you have any
her,
questions.
you know what I'm saying, is like right in the
てか
screen.
ここはどこ
Crazy.
病院じゃないのか何やってんだこいつ俺は重症者だぞしかし美人だなヨーロッパ系かそんなに無防備だとお触りしちゃうぞ
He's trying to cop a feel right from the start.
Hey, Golfin, I agree with you, but it's not anything you really not seen before.
年齢は20代前半といったところか34の俺から見れば若造と言ってもいいこんな年で子供を作るとは全く妬ましい
Damn. Parents getting right busy right next to him.
最高だ。相手が母親であるせいか、全く興奮はしなかったが。
Okay, as long as he's not attracted to his mom. Shout out.
どこにいるの？ルーデ
どうやら俺の名前はルーデウスというらしい。半年もすると言語もそれなりにわかるようになってきた。まだ年齢が若いせいか、物覚えが異常にいい気がする。
Damn.
メイドのリーリャ。素晴らしいもの。
I can't defend his actions for real.
Bro.
ほらルディ
He's a
一
pervert
人で動
baby,
き回
bro.
ったらダメじゃないの。これは被るものではありません。どうしたのリーリャ？
ゼニス様、少々申し上げにくいのですが、ルーデウス様には何か悪いものが。いえ、何でもございません。
Man, even she knows he's a
歯切れが
pervert.
悪いわね。
That's crazy.
子供だもの。間違って下着くらい被るわよ。
いえ、
綺麗な風景だ。こんな写真見たことがある。やっぱりヨーロッパの方だろうか。にしても、さすがに田舎すぎだよな。電気もガスもないって何時代よ。生まれ変わっても
It is
パソコン
interesting.
くらい
Most
触りたいじゃ
fantasy
ん。
settings, we think of like European fantasy settings.
え
I mean, there's clearly some medieval aspects of it because I think he kind of, if I remember correctly, what the author said, he took a lot more from like Eastern European medieval times instead of kind of the more.
I'm just talking about like
traditional.
anime in general. Usually, you get a medieval European style like
頭
every
を打っ
single
た
time.
時はあんまり動かさない方がいいんだ
Which I
ぜ
never really
奥さん
thought about, but yeah, it's
でも泣かないなんて。
よしよし。念のため。
ん
痛いのが飛んでいくおまじない。かけてあげるね。神なる力は芳醇なる糧。
おいおい何の冗談だ。これがこの国の痛い痛いのとんでけかよ。父親に続いて母親も中二病か。戦士と僧侶で結婚しましたってか。
ヒーリング。
this voice actor sounds familiar.
I can't remember, but let me find out real quick.
どう？痛いの治ったでしょ？
Loki sounds like
こう見て
Gintoki.
も昔は冒険者やってたのよ。
どうしたすごい声だ。
あなた、ルディが転げ落ちちゃって頭から。
落ち着けよ。子供なんだから落ちたり転んだりするさ。それに怪我したなら。
もしかするとここは。
でもあんまり大怪我をされて治せなかったらって心配で。
大丈夫だ
いや
よ。
もう断定していいだろう。ここは地球ではない別の世界だ。
I don't need the English dub.
剣と魔法の世界だ。
Tomokazu, it is Jintoki, by the way. You called it.
Yep, he sounds like Gintoki. Okay.
足腰もしっかりしてきた。
それにしても魔法
Really? He was also Krom from
Wow.
Fire Emblem? How about that?
猿だってウキウキする。
He's also Kensei in Thousand Year Blood
誰か
War.
自分でもやってみたいものだ。とはいえ、今の俺にできることは少ない。
Wow.
Playing Rudius and Gintoki makes sense. He likes to play like the goofball characters that have serious sides. So he's very good at
He was
it.
he was also Gyome in the Demon Slayer video game. So I'm just looking at this thing.
Okay. Yeah, man.
Ike is
Shout
the
out-
goat, Miles. Ike is the goat in my opinion. He's nasty
家
as
にあ
hell.
ったのはたったの5冊。この世界では本が高価であるのか、パウロたちが読書家ではないのか。1000冊近い本を持っていた俺には信じられない。
Definitely think it works better when you don't know what the character looks like in the beginning when they get reincarnated.
Mhm.
また1年ほど過ぎた。たった5冊とはいえ、時折パウロが読み聞かせてくれたこともあって、ある程度文字は読めるようになった。しかし、あの父親は乳幼児に本の内容が理解できると思っているのだろうか。 それにしてもこの本は興味深い。魔術教本。生前どこかで見たようなことが書いてある。例えば、魔術には詠唱と魔法陣、2種類の発動方法があるが、今はもっぱら詠唱が主流だということ等々、いろいろと設定があるらしい。それより気になったのが個人の魔力量が生まれた時にはほぼ決まっていると書いてあること。不安だ。俺自身の遺伝子は仕事をしなさそうだし。
まあとりあえずやってみますか。
You can't grow in mana. That's interesting.
汝の求めるところに大いなる水の加護はらん。清涼なるせせらぎの流れを今ここにウォーターボール。
Oh, I thought he was about to do something crazy like the beginning after the end where he just blew up the cabin.
飛んでいくんじゃ。もう一回。
格ゲーのコンボ練習と同じ。集中して何度も何度も頭の中でイメージしてから実際にやってみる。まだ詠唱してなかったよな。なんでだ。
あれ、俺の MP こんだけ。
Use up all his mana.
もうルディったら
Okay.
眠くなったらちゃんとトイレに行ってベッドに入らなきゃダメでしょ。
畜生。この年で寝小便したと思われるとは。畜生。畜生。
Yo, get Togi's voice out there. So funny.
あれ。
So the way they do it is that they have obviously the Rudius kid voice, or whoever Rudius is, outwardly, but inwardly you'll always hear the Jintoki voice actor. So whenever he's just thinking, you hear the
詠唱
Jintoki
なしで
actor.
も魔術は使える。
Yeah.
書いてあることを鵜呑みにするのってことかな。
しかし
So he's able to
簡
use
単にで
spells
きるなら
without
詠唱ってのは何の意味があるんだ。
or saying it out loud.
もしかすると詠唱というのは魔術を自動化する仕組みなのだろうか。いちいち集中して念じなくても言葉を発するだけで全てやってくれる。そうだとすればその利点は大きい。まず第一に教えやすい。詠唱すれば一発でできるんだから、そうやって教えているうちにだんだんと詠唱は必要不可欠なものになっていったとか。第二に使いやすい。
Damn, just showed the whole junk and everything.
戦
Okay.
闘中だろうから
All right.
目をつぶって
You don't want to know what's in the home release.
早くして詠唱した方がよっぽど手っ取り早い。
Did not hold back right off the rip. Okay. Oh, wow. Oh, okay. All right. We're just getting
魔
sexy.
力量が増えたのだっ
Okay.
て謎だ。
All right.
あるいは鍛えた結果の話なのだろう
That's how we
か。
moving.
頑張って鍛えても魔力総量には限界値があるという。いや、結論付けるのはまだ早い。そう。例えば成長に応じて増えていくとか。幼児の時期に魔力を使うと飛躍的に最大値が増えるとか。あ、
I didn't even pay attention to what he just said, bro. I can't believe I just saw a sex scene right okay.
おっと、いかんいかん。ちょっと落ち着け。もし今の仮説が正しいならやることは一つ。成長期が終わる前に鍛えられるだけ鍛える。
よし。しかしこれどうやったら飛ぶんだ。
なんだ。ようやく詠唱の仕組みが解明できた。この魔術は生成、サイズ設定、射出速度設定、発動のプロセスをたどっているのだ。多分間違ってないと思う。 俺は射出速度の設定をしてなかったから飛ばなかったんだ。
Very mental type power system. And then it will make sense that he's
そ
going to
ろ
grow
そろ魔
stronger
力
because
量
he's
も
been
増えて
training
き
since
た
he's
し
like
中級魔術を
5.
なめさ。
I'll explain after why it's not like.
優柔たる水の精霊にして地を流れしせせらぎの王女よ。内に秘めたる合力にてあらゆるものを押し流せ。スプラッシュフロー。
Damn. Damn, he's laying pipe.
なんだこりゃ。
Dad in it all the time, constantly. Oh no, he was just training. Never mind.
魔物か。いや、でもこの辺りには。
あらルディもしかしてこの本口に出して読んじゃった
I fucking love Zenith.
もしかして魔術を使う子供は危険で異端審問に送られるとか。
Sorry, if you're watching, Zenith should be protected at all costs.
ごめんなさい。
あなた聞いた？やっぱりうちの子は天才だったんだわ。
いや、しかしお前これは中級の。
今すぐ魔術の教師を雇いましょう。
いや、その前に文字もまだ教えて。
将来はきっとすごい魔術師に
A very, very similar start to the beginning after the end. I'm not
いや、
gonna lie.
待て、男の子だったら剣士にする。
Well, I don't know when the beginning after the end started, so
中級の魔術を使えるのよ。
I can't talk about that.
何
But
約束ってあなたいつも破るじゃない。
俺のことは今は関係な
Maybe
いだ
this
ろう
is
が。
well.
午前中は魔術。
Honestly, yeah, I don't know when it. Obviously, I wouldn't know when it started either.
あなた
But the kid grows up. He learns magic as he grows up because he knows how to read.
そんな
He
わけでうち
reads.
は家庭教師を雇うことになった。
Shows his capabilities, and then his parents got him a tutor. Both his parents are capable in their own right. Very similar start.
そのおかげ
Very.
で俺みたいな子供に教師をつける余裕くらいはあるんだとか。
she's this lady walking up
何
right
しろ
now
ここは
is
国の端のど田
like
舎。
maybe
応じる
like
人がいる
if
か
she's in my
どう
top
か
5 of
とい
favorite
う
characters
心
in the
配
whole
があっ
show.
たが、あっさりと見
She's
つかっ
amazing
た。
in my opinion.
両親の予想によると、来るのはおそらくすでに引退した冒険者で、長年魔術師として研鑽を積んだ中年か老人で、ひげを蓄えたまさに魔術師って感じのが来るだろうって話だった。
ロキシー・ミグルディアです。よろしくお願いします。
なんてこったい。ひげどころかあそこの毛も生え揃ってなさそうなのが来た。中学生くらいか。ロリ、ジドメ、ブアイソーと3つ揃えばパーフェクトだ。ぜひお目に欲しい。
Oh.
あ、君がその家庭教師の。
ずいぶんとその小さいんですね。あなたに言われたくありません。
コンプレックスなんだろうか。胸の話じゃないんだけどな。
それで私が教える生徒はどちらに？ああ、それがこの子なの。たまにいるんですよね。ちょっと成長が早いだけで子供に才能があるとか思い込んじゃうバカ親。
聞こえてますよ、ロキシーさん。
何か？いえ、しかしそちらのお子様に魔術の理論が理解できるとは思いませんが。大丈夫よ。うちのルディちゃんはとっても優秀なんだから。
I do like the parents. I'll say
わかり
that.
ました。やれることはやってみましょう。
外でやるんですか？
当たり前じゃないですか。魔術は大きく分けると3種類しかありません。攻撃魔術、治癒魔術、召喚魔術。それぞれ初級、中級、上級、正級、王級、低級、進級と7段階に分類されています。そしてその魔術を使うには魔力が必要です。自分の体内にある魔力か。どうかしましたか？
いえ。
まあいいです。とにかくまずはお手本を詠唱するので真似してみてください。
詠唱が必要なんですか？
当たり前じゃないですか。
やっぱりそうなのか。
はい。汝の求めるところに大いなる水の加護あらん。
Yeah, it's probably a special talent since he doesn't have to read it out.
ウォーターボール。どうですか？
先生、その木は母様が大事に育ててきたものですので怒ると思います。
それはまずいですね。神なる力は芳醇なる過程。力を失いしかぬ者に再び立ち上がる力を与えん。ヒーリング。
わあ、すげえ。
治
W.
癒魔術も使えるんですね。
中級までは。
すごい
いいえ、きちんと訓練すればこのくらいは誰にでもできますよ。
こいつはちょろそうだ。
ではやってみてください。
魔術教本にも無影章については載ってなかった。何気なく使っていたが、実は禁忌に触れるとかなのだろうか。ロキシーも詠唱は必要だと言った。ならしばらくは詠唱をすべきだろう。大事なことかもしれないしな。
汝の求めるところに大いなる水の加護あらん。
Of course.
何してるんですか？
いえ。どうでした？
詠唱はしょりましたね。
はい。
いつもはしょっているのですか？
いつもはなしで。
なし？そう。いつもはなし。なるほど。これは期待外がありそうですね。
Shout out the prodigy.
ロキシーさん、うちの木を実験台にしないでちょうだい。まったくもう。
早速失敗してしまいました。明日には解雇ですかね。
先生すみません。僕のせいで。
参った。20年近く人と話してなかったんだ。こういう時かける言葉が見つからない。いや、考えろ。散々やってきただろう。エロゲの主人公ならこんな時どうしてた？
先生は今失敗したんじゃありません。経験を積んだんです。
What the?
そうですね。ありがとうございます。
100% it sounds like a line someone would say from a video game.
My goodness. I need to stop. I'm trying to stop myself because I want to say so much. But I'm just waiting for it to be over so I can
そ
say
れよ
something.
りロキシーさん、
はい。
中に入りましょう。まずは私たちの紹介もさせてね。
おーい、早く来い。
ありがたいですが、返せるものもありませんので。
何言ってるの。さあ、早くいらっしゃい。ルディも早くおいで。
そんじゃ始めるか。ロキシーちゃんの歓迎会。
まるで夢のようだ。トラックにひかれて死にかけてる俺の。いや、もしそうだとしても構わない。この世界なら俺にだってできるんじゃないだろうか。人並みに生きて人並みに努力して、つまずいても立ち上がってなお前を向いて。できるかもしれない。こんな俺でも、無職の引きこもりでクズな俺でも、人生をやり直すことが。本気で生きていくことが。
That's when I was sealed right there.
Really?
Yep.
Okay.
That was it.
I'll
there.
say this after episode 1. It wasn't a bad episode by any means. I think it would probably some of them. It definitely 100% because you told me to read beginning after end first. Like there was like bar for bar, so similar to beginning after the end. But overall, like the parents, don't know why they put a sex scene in there. It was okay, cool. Parents are great. Interesting parents. You always like to have interesting parent characters. They make the setup for anything you do later much more fascinating. Teacher is pretty cool. You know, she doesn't have I already can kind of tell the character trope they're gonna go with her. Main character. So far, I'll say this for the main character. The pervy stuff is cringe, but it's not bad. Not so far, so good. I would probably be able to give him more grace if I didn't know like stuff I know, not stuff that I even searched about, but just stuff I know. I probably would be able to give him more grace. So I'm gonna still have to see how the pervy moments play out as we continue.
Okay, so to answer your question, the beginning after the ends debut started in 2017. Just the light novel series alone started back in 2012.
When did Mushoku Tensei start?
The Mushoku Tensei started in 2012. And
So
that's not even talking about the web novel. So to kind of give you a little bit of history before we go to the second episode. So there is a big kind of website in Japan called Shueisha. That's where a lot of like guys who are trying to come up in the business as writers try to pitch their web stories there. So Shueisha literally had all these came out at the same time as web novels. So that Online came out, Overlord, Reincarnate as a Slime, Mushoku Tensei, like
at
these
the
four
same time,
around the same kind of time, right? And these four are still some of the best highly rated things on their site. Like people still read them a lot compared to obviously new
a
stuff coming.
series had to inspire, like for all of them to kind of come out the same time. There had to be like a series that inspired all four.
So for the people who've read all of them, at least the major consensus at the time was that Mushoku Tensei was the best one of them all, right? Now, obviously, each one of them had their own great premises, right? So I'm not sitting here saying, but after that, obviously, Sword Art Online was like the first one to get its anime adaptation, right? So that's kind of Isekai's War was around before that, but Sword Art Online made the Isekai genre popularized to the world, basically. And then after that, we saw the run. That's when Reincarnate Slime came out. After that, Overlord came out. Yeah, even like bad ones like In Another World with My Smartphone came out, right? The problem was when you look at that first episode, Radell, with all the cringy stuff, the kind of things that they did, it was hard. It was a hard adaptation because obviously that's just what they kind of toned it down to. If you read the web novel, you'll see the original author's intention, right?
It's worse.
It's worse, but it's also the same way with like Overlord too. Overlord is also way worse in terms of what Ainz does, especially to his
I feel like
enemies.
Overlord's probably worse. Well, to be fair, maybe Albedo is kind of a more of a, what I'm saying, but I feel like Overlord probably would be worse in terms of how evil Ainz is.
Mm-hmm.
That's my
that's
guess. I
just the
wouldn't
thing.
know.
Yeah, so I've in terms of Mushoku Tensei, I read because I started with obviously the show, then I read the light novel until the light novel I caught up. So then I read the web novel because I needed to know how it ended, right? And then so now the light novel. So I read even the manga. The manga's not that good, in my opinion, compared to everything else, but also got a few spin-offs. Like Roxy gets her own spin-off, so you got to see what she was doing before she meets Rudius, right? There's a spin-off about Rudy when he's an adventurer. So there's a whole bunch of stuff there. So obviously once you get an original author's kind of in the web novel, then an editor comes in and say, hey, look, we can't keep this. We got to take that out. Let's change this up. Once it gets official, and then you got what you have today in terms of the official stuff that's out for everybody to read and watch. So I know there's a lot more of the stuff that I can probably tell you, but let's watch the second episode and then let's see how you feel. And then I can answer any questions you have, because it's just kind of weird that out of all the ones that were made, all the ones that came out at the same time, like isekais take the most from Mushoku Tensei, whether or not it's Truck Kun or incantless chanting, because things like that. There's a lot of things like tropes that they take from Mushoku Tensei all the time.
I could definitely see why Mushoku Tensei, because I probably would agree when I'm looking at the collective, and it provides itself the easiest opportunity to create a narrative. Overlord is very straightforward. He turns into a whole villain. Like that's not a narrative that everybody wants to tell, and obviously it's a skeleton king monster. Slime, it's literally a slime. You only could be so creative. Like the guy who created it, people try to do other slime type anime, like it doesn't work. Like only he can kind of do how the slime stuff. So that's also extremely unique where you're going through the monster perspective, you're going through a slime's perspective, the weakest monster. So I can see why that would be hard to just keep on like it being not copying, but kind of having different types of material that's very similar.
Like
And
we've
SAO,
seen, yeah, we've seen other ones um, where you see reincarnated as a sword. We've seen reborn as a vending machine, which, by the way, don't ever watch. Don't do it. Radell, I don't have to worry about you because even I haven't seen. I just saw the trailer. And I said, yeah, y'all can go ahead and miss me with this one for now. But
it doesn't work. It doesn't work. Nah.
like you got to be very good. Even as much as I enjoyed the manga for reincarnated as a sword, like I know I can. Like if I had to binge it, I would stop a long time ago. But it just works as I get it in spurts, and even then, I still have a problem with it. So it's very hard to do it, and I think you're going to talk about it. But all those four that I mentioned, they all kind of touch different parts. Overlord, you see the villain's perspective, right? You basically watching the demon lord take over the world.
Yeah.
Mushoku Tensei kind of gives you that true isekai experience where you're watching a guy like legitimately get a really second chance at life. I also forgot Shield Hero came out around the same time too, so people were blessed by that. So and then you have the more video game aspect of it, right?
Yeah, with
And then
SAO.
with SAO, and then you have the monster side of reincarnated as slime. So each of those touch different parts of the isekai space that a lot of people are like, oh, this is nice. And then you see it branch off from there.
Yeah, I could definitely see why Mushoku Tensei and SAO were the easiest ones to kind of regurgitate because of the Mushoku Tensei following the adventure story right from the beginning, and SAO kind of going, like you said, the video game route where they're trapped in the video game. So I've seen more series that are similar to those two by far. So I can 100% see why people would be inspired by it. My question to you, Random, because for I'm it's very obvious to me that the series that I will be consistently comparing this to will be the beginning after the end because they are actually extremely similar so far from episode 1 that I've seen. So beginning after the end is definitely the main character. I don't even care that he was a Chad or this guy's a loser beforehand, but the way they act when they're reincarnated, who do you like more as characters? Rudius and how he acts, or I forget beginning after end main character.
Jesus Christ, I want to call him Gray for some reason. Wasn't that his old name was Gray?
Sounds right. I don't remember though.
I wish Lonnie was here because I think Lonnie, because he's a big fan of beginning after the end. I'm gonna shoot him a message in the thing to see if he can come, because Lonnie could give you
talking about. Chiefs are currently losing. What?
Let him cook. But Lonnie would be the one to kind of give you the perspective. Now I'm partial to Rudius over. Let's go right now with Gray. I'm partial, but I also understand how low Rudius comes from, because the one thing, if you ever end up kind of diving into source material, Radell, you really learn how low his life was before he gets reincarnated, right? And then he has to legitimately, like, I hope you notice this in the first episode when obviously Roxy gets there and he's like, we're outside, and you see how nervous he gets, right? And he starts looking around, he's anxious, he's all this because
Arthur.
Okay, thank you. But you just kind of see how anxious he is because it's important. And compared to all the other ones, we just kind of dive into it right away. Radell, Mushoku Tensei takes its time. They're trying to get you to understand this is who Rudius is, right? This is the world he's going to be living in, and then it pops off. That's why we say to the first turning point, which I believe is episode 8. You're basically just watching a slice of life, right? With a few action moments mixed in, but the author really takes his time to be like, this is who he is, and we're not hiding what kind of a bad person he is. Like, you're not gonna like him. I love him now because I know how far he comes by the end of his story. So that's why. So I just like, and I'm also a big fan of underdog stories too. So I'm like, I love seeing a guy pick himself up from legitimately the bottom and end up at the top. Now, mind you, out of all of the ones that I've said, Rudius is probably the weakest in terms of power protagonist, whether or not you compare him to Naofumi or Arthur or obviously Ainz or even he'd wax Kirito in my opinion. He'd wax Kirito, but it doesn't matter. And Rimuru, but I believe his journey to where he ends is way better than probably most of them. Maybe Ainz and Rimuru would be the people. And Arthur's story isn't finished yet, so we don't know.
So I could definitely see the appeal for Rudius. He definitely follows that adventure style more so than any series that exists as of right now for a human in particular, for a human adventurer that is as normal as you can be. He obviously has unique talents that's going to make him stronger than everybody else. You can already tell from the first episode, but that journey that come up is definitely interesting. I already know that I won't vibe with Rudius because I can tell I'm more of an Arthur guy. People kind of know my type. I like characters who are cold and calculated and handle things and stand on business. But we better see. What did Lonnie say?
He's doing he just went shopping with his girl. Check the group chat. You see what his girl did with her gift, with his gift to her.
Oh damn!
Oh my god!
Shout out Lonnie, W husband. You know what I'm saying?
W husband, $362 in 3 minutes is crazy.
Oh man!
Oh my god! Moon Peaches, we love you, but what the fuck?
Love to you. Hey, shout out Lonnie, man. Go crazy, fam. Go crazy. All right, well, we're gonna get started in episode 2. Then I'll give my final assessments on am I gonna put it on my list to finish in the future, or will I just drop it completely? There's a lot of great elements in the story. I can tell from the surface there's a lot of great elements to the story. But if I don't like the MC, that is if I'm following a journey and I don't like the people I'm following, then it's kind of hard to get into. So we'll see what happens episode 2. All right. Let me know when you're ready, Random.
All right, give me a second. I thought Crunchyroll would automatically go to the next episode, but no, it did not.
And I also keep in mind, I just caught up to Freerin from episode 7 to 22. Bro, Freerin is so good, man. That Stark, Fern, and Freerin are such an excellent group. They do a very unique kind of. It's not an isekai, obviously, but it's a fantasy story. But they don't follow the typical fantasy adventure where X character goes and does something. No, this is after a journey, and we're just finding, oh man, the duality, the back and forth. And in the recent episode, they're taking a magic test, and now they're bringing in side characters and giving them story. We're getting Whirlpool. I thought he was a scumbag. Then when you get a little backstory, we're like, oh, this guy's kind of dope. Now I kind of like this dude. We get the green hair girl who's it's obvious she's like a psychopath, but then they have an interesting thing with her and the glasses guy with the blonde hair. 2 other girl characters who Freeman was kind of teaching. We got this old dude you thought was a scumbag, but now he's pretty interesting too. And they introduced an elf that taught her master recently in the anime too. And she's like, oh, Freeman's back. And like, oh, okay, there's obviously going to be a confrontation between Freeman and her. So,
well, I will say this with Freeman is one of those where I get the same feeling from Freeman when I read it that I get from this. Like, I haven't been that captivated by a story in a long time. There are few where I'm like, oh, this is awesome, just from jump, where I get that. And
church service stream, what?
In terms of Irvin, yeah, to answer your question about the Elimination Chamber, we'll go talk to Radell because we've been mad concerned about what WWE's doing, but I saw the press conference.
Bro, it's cooking, man. Not gonna lie.
Hey, Rock, I apologize. I was not familiar with your game, but great work.
Hey, I said this in the Discord, bro. Cody Rhodes said, trust me. And I said, all right, bet. I'm trusting the American Nightmare. And he delivered, bro. I mean,
I was like, they're going to say, fuck you, Cody Rhodes. We're doing this. That's what I was worried about because they've done that so many other times before. So, but hey.
No, this ain't Vince. This ain't Vince. Yeah, Vince, that man, Vince, Triple H.
They're gonna kill Vince in prison for
also real. Shout out Rock, man, for deciding to become heel Rock. And this, hey man,
that slap to Cody Rhodes was
I still
devious.
Don't know if it's real or not.
That slap to Cody Rhodes was devious as fuck.
Super deep.
There was some
dude.
intention with that, but we probably do end up need having it. Do you want to stream the elimination?
Elimination Chamber. When's that? That's next. Is it this month? Is it next month? I don't.
I want to say it's next month, but I don't know for sure.
I think we can. I think we can stream the Elimination Chamber. That's fine. WrestleMania, I don't know. It will be 2 days. It depends on what WrestleMania is going to be such a big event. We might need to stream WrestleMania. We'll see.
It's the end of this month.
I'm gonna get Peacock for sure for Elimination Chamber. I'm not dealing with the cuts and stuff again, bro. I need to watch it clean, man.
The crazy part is, if we waited, we could have watched that place that we used. They kind of put it in parts, right? We could have done it that way, and that one could have been good. But we were watching it live, so we paid for it.
No, we 100% gotta watch it. Mania will be long as hell, but if it's good, if all right, if Elimination Chamber was like, it was gonna be bad at, like, because we didn't know what was going on. Gunther was gonna be there. Seth is injured. Roman was gonna be there. The fact that they were able to save Elimination Chamber, where it's like Randy Orton's in an Elimination Chamber, Drew McIntyre's in an Elimination Chamber. They're doing a tournament for that. They have Becky Lynch and Bianca Belair for the women's Elimination Chamber. Nia Jax versus Rhea Ripley. And then
because Rhea needs an opponent, right? That's why. So they're going to Elimination Chamber to see who fights her.
Oh yeah, Rhea is gonna beat Nia Jax, and then I'm expecting Becky Lynch to win the Elimination Chamber to face Rhea at WrestleMania, and that'd be huge. Rhea versus Becky, come on. So like, for sure.
Real quick, who you think is going to win? Because I think Seth faces the winner of the Chamber.
The World Heavyweight, I think Drew, because Drew is moving me, man. Drew has been so great the last couple of weeks. I think Drew, but I don't think it's going to be a simple 1v1 because we've already seen Seth versus Drew. I think Triple H is going to cook something up for Seth. That's what I think. That's what I think. Oh man, yeah. We'll probably stream the Elimination Chamber. I'm locked in for that.
Yo, Lonnie, I'm praying for you, my boy. I just want you to know, hey, we got you. We got you, man. We got you in our prayers. Send Lonnie your good vibes, chat. Send Lonnie your good vibes for real.
100%. I'm locked in.
But all right, any other questions before we start episode 2?
No, but shout out Freerun. Freerun's movie. Freerun might be like, I can see why people would like Jobless Reincarnation, because I think a lot of people can resonate, which is why I'm not mad at people who resonate with like underdog characters, because most people are those type of people. Like most people watch anime are those type of people. Let's just be completely frank. So I can understand when people feel that. Freerun, Freerun is really going to be. It might be FMA, like perfect anime level, bro.
It's amazing. And I'm telling you, Radell, if you can go and read the manga. So they're starting the new arc right now, but that last arc was absolute heat. Radell, absolute heat. But I'm worried. I'm like, are we going to get that in like season 2? If they do the same episode number, then you're going to get in season 2. If not, you're going to have to wait till season 3 for it. I thought it was fantastic.
Shout out the anime studios who knew that Freerun deserved 28 episodes on its first release. They're like, we know people are gonna like this. And to be fair, I read the synopsis. We had a podcast episode, and I was like, or it was on PC Anime actually back in the day, and I was like, this synopsis looks really good. It just looks good. I don't know how good it would be. It looks good. And then it came out. It was better than I even thought it could be. It was just way better than I thought it could be. So
the best part about Freerun is its flashbacks, where we all like, sure, we understand that the journey's over, but we just get random looks back on their journey, and we get to see why these people were so impactful to Freerun. I love every time they do that.
Same here. And then we see Freerun how she acted before, and now Freerun how she acts now, and it's like, we here, man. But shout out Sign. In the anime, he left the group, man. It's tough. It's tough. They need a priest. I don't know what they're gonna do. So
I think he's coming back. He's gonna be their priest. You know, he just gotta do what he's gotta do, but he's their priest. Like, he has so many similarities to Hater, in my opinion. Like, is it Hater or Hider? Like, how do you say his name?
Hider, yeah, Hider. I remember.
Yeah,
he does.
He's their priest. He's their priest. But also the one thing I want to, I guess, every time they meet another elf, it's a really big issue. So
It's a big deal. The three elves
a
we
big-
met so far were Freeman, Chad,
Mhm.
like Cersei, who knows like all humanity's magic, and that one priest elf who's like I was a hero before like Himmel was. Like these three were like them. Like them. Those are those three. So
It
yeah,
makes me
that was-
wonder how many elves are actually like running around that world.
well,
'Cause
Freeman
it-
in the recent anime said she lost to an elf. I don't know if she's talking about Cersei.
I think she's talking about Cersei.
I don't
in my
think so.
opinion.
You know why?
Mm.
Because she said she lost to an elf with mana lower than hers. She said she lost to. Well, actually, let me regurgitate. She said she lost 11 times, and I think I think she's talked about how she lost to people with mana less than her, and I think one of those people was an elf. It doesn't make for if it's Cersei, it makes sense. But why would she even fight Cersei? To be fair, because that's her master. It's a master.
Oh, Santo, to tell you what's going on with Lonnie. Lonnie's just like showing his girlfriend how much he cares for her on her birthday. That's all I'm allowed to say. Send him your good vibes. But Sausavelli, you got
you might be right, Sauce. Maybe
Yeah.
I think it might have been 6 actually, where it had less
yeah.
mana. Than
So go read the manga. The manga's fantastic, but you know Radell does his thing a little different because I think if he reads the manga, Radell reads the manga, he's not going to watch the anime anymore because you're going to be so far past.
Facts. I will 100% not watch the anime anymore,
Mhm.
and I will binge the entire thing. I can read a manga. I can read a lot in like 2 days. I don't want to.
Mhm. So yeah, you ready to start?
All right, let's dive into episode number 2, Jobless Reincarnation. 3, 2, 1. Back in the real world, it seems. Bruh. Really?
Yep.
Yo, what is bruh?
I'll explain after.
Hey, respect the balls on you, man. Wait, is that? Sorry, is that what? What
I
you
will
call it?
explain after the episode.
Okay, all right.
But that is the worst part about the character. That's the one part I can never explain nor justify nor like about him.
Oh, what did you do? Huh? What did you do? Crazy. I know what you did because of a comment. So it's crazy. The anime made it super ambiguous. They were smart doing that. Not gonna lie.
Tokkunがてら土魔術でフィギュアを作ってたら魔力切れしたらしい。
だいぶ魔力量も増えてきたけど、まだまだだな。頑張ろう。
Bro,
それにしても
what?
お
What is with
盛んだ。
all these sex scenes,
願
bro?
わくば妹がいい。うん。弟は
I
嫌
will
だ。
explain after the
今日は
episode.
一つ声でもかけてみるか。お父さん、
This is
お母さ
why
ん
this is why he's gonna
裸
be
で
out.
何してるの？言い訳が楽しみだぜ。
Bro, there's no way. Bro. I'm sorry, bro. What? Are we serious?
I will explain after the episode.
What, bro? I just saw so much shit in the first like 3 minutes, bro. What the? Man, hey, man. That's... Bro, bro, bro,
Bro, what the fuck, bro?
Salsa Belly. He watched 5 more episodes after that. He watched 5 more episodes after that, and then he was out. That's my problem.
Bro, I can see why Boise would say hentai, bro. Not gonna lie. Bro, what? What is this? What is this author on?
Power through,
bro?
my boy.
What is this author on, bro?
Power through, my boy. Power through.
Oh, I said I'm gonna react to it, man. I will
explain after the episode. I will explain. I swear.
Bro, the amount of it is 2 minutes and 9 seconds into episode 2. And to be fair, there's something I know about another scene that makes it even worse, but like 2 minutes? 2.
I promise. Let me stop.
2. What?
Come on, bro. Look. Kai's out here encouraging you.
Oh my god, bro. What the she just got here, bro. She just got here. What is she? Bro. Oh my god, man. What the fuck?
Hey, shout out to Salsa Belly with the $2. Boy, this shit is so funny. Laughing emojis for real.
Bro, I knew I was like expecting perfect stuff, but this is different. Like,
Char, I need your help. This is
different, bro.
You gotta power through. This is what
All
you're
right,
gonna get
man.
this episode. I promise you.
2 minutes and 9 seconds. We are starting again at 3, 2, 1. This is why you watch yourself.
ロキシーとて年頃の娘、見て見ぬふりをする情けが俺にも存在した。なんちゃって。いやー、いいものを見た。ロキシーが来て半年ほど経った。ロキシーはいい教師だ。授業は面白く楽しい。おかげで中級までの攻撃魔術はあっさりと使えるようになった。ということで、今はロキシーとの夜の座学中。おっと、夜のってついているからってエロいことをするわけじゃないぞ。
そもそも魔術というのは、大昔とある種族が外敵から身を守るため、精霊たちと対話し、風や土を操ったのができたと言われています。今の魔術は、人族が魔族との長い争いの中で、その魔術を真似し、形態化させていったものです。
魔術にも歴史があるんですね。
当然です。
子供を装っててもダメか。世の中世知辛いぜ。
しかし驚きです。この世界には精霊とか魔族なんてのもいるんですね。
もちろんです。ちなみに私も魔族です。
そうだったんです
か。
はい。パウロさんたちも私の姿を見て驚いてたでしょ。
先
生がちっちゃいからですよね。
ちっちゃくありません。あれは私の髪を見て驚いてたんですよ。
髪？
聞かされていませんか？スペルド族という恐ろしい魔族のこと。
いえ、恐ろしいんですか？
はい。今から4、500年ほど前ですが、ラプラス戦役という人族と魔族の大きな争いがありました。その争いの中で彼らスペルド族は敵味方、女子供関係なしに虐殺を繰り返し暴れ回ったそうです。そのせいであらゆる種族から嫌われ、戦争が終結した後、魔大陸から追放されたと聞きます。それくらい危ない種族なんです。子供の頃よく言われたものです。夜遅くまで起きているとスペルド族がやってきて食べてしまうぞと。
この世界にもそういうのあるんだな。
いいですか？とにかくエメラルドグリーンの髪で額に赤い宝石のようなものがついた種族には絶対に近づいてはいけません。
近づいたらどうなるんですか？
家族を皆殺しにされるかもしれません。
気をつけます。
私の髪は光の加減でその緑色に見えなくもないんです。
先生の髪は綺麗ですよ。
ありがとうございます。でもそういうことは将来好きな子ができた時に言ってあげてください。
僕先生のこと好きですよ。
what the fuck sauce?
そうですか。あと10年経って考えが変わらなかったら、もう一度言ってください。
Oh,
エ
brother.
ロゲで鍛えたナイスガイスキルも全く無意味というわけではないらしい。生前じゃ冗談みたいに聞こえるこっぱずかしいセリフも、この世界には情熱的でユニークな恋の導火線
I
だ。
will wait to tell
何
you
言ってんのか自
at
分で
the
もわ
end
か
of
んない。
the episode.
All right. Bruh.
スペルド族に食べられますよ。
はい。
Oh, okay.
ロキシーが来て1年ほど経った。
Nah, sauce. I'm not watching Banana Fish. Based on what you
少し
said,
は
I'm
特
not
訓してい
watching
る
Banana
甲斐あってか、最近じゃ全く魔力が尽きる気配がなくなってきた。剣術は
踏み込んでって感じだ。わかったか？
くっと踏み込んで。こうですか？
バカ者！それじゃちょんと踏み込んでくんだろうが。踏み込んでザンだよ。
まあまだ4歳だし、
Oh,
体
he's
も
only
できてい
4.
ない。
Jesus, my bad.
まだまだこれからだ。頑張ろう。
どうしたんですか？そんなところで。
いえ、何でもありません。
私の故郷は草一本生えないような土地でしたので、この景色を見ると何とも言えない気持ちになります。
先生、僕今とても楽しいです。こんな毎日がずっと続いてほしいです。
見てください。あそこにうっすらと山が見えるでしょ？
赤竜山脈ですよね。
正解です。よく勉強していますね。ここからずーっと北の方。あの山脈の向こうにラノアという国があります。
はあ、どんなところなんですか？
冬はとても寒くて、ものすごく雪が積もるんです。それはもうこんなに。
それはすごいですね。見てみたいです。
そこにはラノア魔法大学という世界一の魔術学校があるんです。近代的で高度な講義を受けることができます。
学校、嫌な言葉だ。
魔法大学には変な格式やプライドがありません。様々な種族を受け入れ、真面目に魔術を研究しています。もしこのままルディが魔術の道を進みたいというのなら、ラノアに行くことをお勧めします。
その前に僕はこの家から出ることが。いえ、そんなところに行かなくても、僕はロキシー師匠がいればそれでいいです。
その呼び方はやめてください。あなたは私を簡単に超えてしまうでしょうし、自分より劣る者を師匠と呼ぶのは嫌
That
でしょ
Bob Marley movie looks
別
good.
に
Not
嫌じゃ
gonna
ないで
lie.
すよ。
Mm-hmm. They're hating with all them
そのう
trailers.
ち
I'm
わ
not
か
gonna
る
hold you.
ありますよ。
Facts.
But where are your biopics?
She's jealous. Can't do it like Rudy. It's tough. Maybe put that hand in less crazy
ロキシー
spot.
が来
I
て
don't know.
Hey, let it go.
だ。
Let it go.
I
こ
don't
の
know
国
tell you,
に
man.
は誕生日を毎年祝うという習慣はない。しかし、生まれてから5年ごとに大きなお祝いをするのが習慣なのだそうだ。5歳、10歳、15歳。15歳で青年であるから非常にわかりやすい。
15?
No, this is.
ルビー
Oh.
5歳の誕生日おめでとうございます。
He's
あり
five.
がとうございます。
So they do it like they have a big
誕生日を祝って
birthday
もらえ
thing
るなんて
every 5 years.
どれ
instead
くら
of
いぶり
every
だろう。
year.
引きこもりになってからは 国民の休日以上にどうでもいいイベントだった。こんな感覚忘れてたけど、意外といいもんだな。
誕生日おめでとう。プレゼントだ。
ありがとうございます、父様。
5本。お前にその剣はまだ早いかもしれないが、男なら心の中に一本の剣を持っておかねばならん。大切なものを守るには心構えが必要だ。妻や子供、お前にもいずれそういう人ができるだろう。その者たちを守るのはお前の義務だ。ちょっとは魔術が使えるからといって調子に乗ってはいけない。魔術は接近戦が苦手だし、展開の早い戦いについていけない。その点、剣術はいいものだ。剣心流。
長い。お誕生日おめでとう。はい、ルディは本が好きだから。ありがとうございます、母様。こういうのが欲しかったんです。まあ、なんていい子なの。はい、ルディ。
Dope one.
それは魔石です。魔力を増幅してくれる機能があるので、きっと役に立つはずです。
綺麗ですね。
初級魔術が使えるようになった生徒に杖を送るのが通例なのですが、ルディは最初から使えていたので失念していました。申し訳ありません。
いえ、ありがとうございます。大切にします、師匠。
その年で上級攻撃魔術を4種とも取得したのです。もう少し偉そうにしてもいいのですよ。
いえ、師匠の教え方がうまいからですよ。
しかし、これで私があげられるものも本当にごくわずかになりました。ルディ、明日、卒業試験を行います。
卒業
To the
外を
end.
見れば
Something
全
crazy
て
about
が
happened?
蘇る。
You
あ
said
の
what?
日の記憶。
Santo said, I want to see the reaction to the end.
無念、絶望感。昨日のことのように思い出す。生前、部屋で悶々としながら何度夢見ただろう。突然すごい力に目覚めた。突然、美少女の居候ができたら、きっと俺は頑張れる。そんな夢は叶ってしまった。けれど俺の足は動かない。外にはあの絶望が待っている。
勇気を出せ、頑張れ。
怖くて一歩も踏み出せない。心の中で本気になると誓っても、体は決してついてこない。泣きそうだ。
よしよし。
外ですか？
はい、村の外です。
庭でやることはできませんか？
できません。
できませんか。
なぜか外に出たがらないのよね。魔物が怖いのかしら。
この辺りじゃめったに魔物には会いませんよ。それに、会っても弱いですから、ルディでも倒せます。
ルディ、カラバッジはすごくおとなしいぞ。
はは、さては怖いんですね、馬が。
馬は別に怖くないですよ。
意外に年相応なところもあるんですね。ゆっくりそっと。はい。乗ってしまえばすぐに怖くなくなりますよ。
師匠無理です。
大丈夫ですよ。私がついていますから安心してください。ルディ、頑張れ。
WCGI.
ほら、大丈夫だったでしょ。
こっちを見るな。なんで見てる？見るなよ。
この前はありがとうさ。
どうも。
いや、俺じゃない。
おはよう、ロキシーちゃん。
おはようございます。
みんなロキシーを見てるんだ。
カラバッチョが上機嫌です。ルディを乗せられて嬉しいみたいですよ。
そうですか。
どうしました？まだ怖いですか？
いえ、もう大丈夫です。
俺は何を恐れてたのだろう。こんなのどかな村で誰が俺をバカにするというのか。
こんにちは。
ロキシーはすごいな。たった2年で村に馴染んでいる。髪のことで偏見を持たれていただろうに。
いい村ですね、師匠。
はい。私もとても気に入っています。この辺りでいいでしょう。
気持ちいいですね。
これから私は水星級魔術を使います。
Random, apparently, Taylor asked you
し
something
っ
in
かりと見
Discord.
て、覚えて使ってください。
Let me peep. Let me
それが
peep.
卒業試験の内容です。
Lonnie's
秘
still
伝だか
crying.
ら人のいないところでやるんですか？
違います。人や農作物に被害が出るかもしれないからです。雄大なる水の精霊にして天に上がりし雷帝の王子よ、我が願いを叶え凶暴なる恵みをもたらし賠償なる存在に力を見せつけよ。神なる金槌を金床に打ちつけて意図を示し大地を水で埋め尽くせ。ああ雨よ、すべてを押し流しあらゆるものを駆逐せよ。キムロニーマス。
Damn, Drake killed the horse.
どうしましょう。師匠、早くヒリムを。
Crazy.
そうでした。危ないところでした。
I'm praying for you, Lonnie.
このことは内緒でお願いしますね。
安心してください。行ったりしませんので。
お願いします。さあ、やってみなさい。カラバッチョは私が守っておきます。
卒業試験、つまり家庭教師がこれで終わりだということだ。
雄大なる水の精霊にして天に上がりし雷帝の王子よ、我が願いを叶え。
あのロキシーだ。教えられることがないのにお世話になるわけにはいきませんとか言ってあっさり明日にでも家を出ていくだろう。そうなれば今日が最後だ。
すごい。
雨よ、すべてを押し流し。
もっといろいろ話してきた。
Oh, damn.
キムロニーマス。
Seems like you surpassed the master.
私のお手本より大きなものを作れなんて言ってませんよ。
やりすぎでしたか？
残念です。これで本当に私が教えられることもなくなってしまいました。おめでとうございます。これであなたは水星級魔術師です。
Same class water mage. Is that level 1? Level 2?
I will explain after because I'm looking up some stuff right now just to anticipate some questions you're going to ask.
ロキシーちゃん、まだうちにいてもいいのよ。教えてないお料理もいっぱいあるし。
そうだぞ。村の奴らだって歓迎するぞ。
ありがたい申し出ですが、しばらくは世界を旅しながら改めて魔術の腕を磨くつもりです。
そうか。まあなんだ。
Went up
悪か
by
ったな。
5-year-old. Now you gotta
う
go
ちの
train
息子が
again.
自
I
信を
feel you.
失わせてしまったようで。
パウロよ。
Oh,
そういう言い
shout
方
out
は
to
良くな
Daddy.
いぞ。
Exactly what I
レ
just
ディ
said.
精一杯頑張ったつもりですが、私じゃあなたを指導するには力不足のようです。
そんなことはありません。師匠はいろんなことを教えてくれました。
そうだ。
これは
私の故郷のお守りです。卒業祝いを用意する時間がなかったので、これで我慢してください。
大切にします。
そうしてもらえると嬉しいです。では、そろそろ。それでは。
彼女には本当にいろんなものをもらった。知識、経験、技術。そして何より、俺を外に出してくれた。外に出た。ただそれだけ。しかし、それは間違いなく俺のトラウマだった。彼女はそれを直してくれた。狙ってやったことじゃない。分かっている。けれど、尊敬しよう。あの小さな少女。と思ったら、数ヶ月前に盗んだロキシーのパンツがありました。
Wow.
ごめんなさい。
And shout out. And
That's
that is episode 2 of Jobless Reincarnation. Let me ask such a heartwarming ending. Respect is key. We all need respect. Yeah, he respected her so much he kept her panties, you know what I'm saying?
I had to look away because I almost started crying. But go ahead, say what you got to say. If you have questions, and I will answer them to the best of my ability.
I will say this. I can see why people like Mushoku Tensei. I can see why people are appealed to Jobless Reincarnation. I see the appeal. I understand the appeal. Now that I've seen it, obviously. You know what I'm saying? I can't really judge something without seeing a bit. I can kind of understand the flow of the story, the direction of the story, the redemption arc of the story, all that stuff. To kind of give a gauge, let me ask this again. Class level, those Saint stage, is that level 1 or something?
No.
Is it like
most
Chunin, Jonin, Ginnin? How would you kind of
I'd say
it?
most mages, their life's work is to basically kind of get to Saint stage. So if you want to look at so technically it's a title, right? So if you're looking at the Mushoku Tensei titles, these are kind of the same for whether or not you're a swordsman or something like that. There's beginner, elementary, right?
Okay.
Then there's intermediate, then there's advanced, and then there's saint / holy, then there's kingly.
Oh, it's like level 4. Okay, gotcha.
Mm-hmm. If you get to saintly, like most people on the planet, either you're adventurer or you work for like a kingdom, they're like, yeah, we want your services. So it's most people kind of top out there. And mind you, remember, she just said Roxy said he's just a saint water mage.
Yeah.
So
to round out a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we know Rudius is 5. How old is Roxy?
She is 37.
What? She's 37 years old? Jeez.
Technically, if you're going when she leaves, she's 39.
You said growing girl. What the fuck? Yeah, right.
So okay. So she's part of, technically she's not human. She's part of like a demon race, and I don't want to spoil too much because I would want you to explain
What
it.
would you equate 39 for, like her being a part of the demon race? Would you equate that? Like dog years, obviously you would equate like dog years differently.
I'd say she's probably like about to enter her 20s, especially if you look at what her race does. How old her race is. She's about to like
Okay,
enter
that's a lot more reasonable. I was about to say, Jesus Christ, 39. The fuck, that's crazy. But okay, that's more reasonable. Makes sense to me. Um, I'm gonna say this though. I can understand the intrigue and the resonance with like the character who got treated like crap back in the day. I think a story that does it really well for me that I enjoyed is, I don't know if a lot of people seen it. I know people may have seen the live action, is Sweet Home and Shotgun Boy. So Sweet Home and Shotgun Boy are two series I really like. I really like both of those series. Shotgun Boy technically is a prequel of Sweet Home, if you didn't know. And then both characters actually had a protagonist that was bullied. Now the Shotgun Boy is a little bit more interesting, is that he had a character that bullied him. Well, actually, both of them was interesting. So Sweet Home, the main character was actually like a normal guy, decently popular, and then there's a new rich kid that appeared. And this rich kid appeared, and the protagonist tried to offer him help, but everybody kept on telling the protagonist, "Nah, just leave him alone." The rich kid, just leave him alone. But the protagonist is the nice guy. Everybody kind of liked him. So he offered him a help, and he just gave a gesture of helping to the guy. And that rich kid, the moment he did that, he was pissed. He was like, "Are you looking down on me?" So
this
after
is Bakugo
that,
situation is what you're telling me.
huh?
This is a Bakugo situation.
Well, Bakugo and Deku were friends at some point.
Yeah,
These
and then
guys
remember, Bakugo falls. They're walking past a little creek thing. He falls in. Deku walks up to offer him a hand, and that's when he was like, "You know what? Fuck you, Deku. Fuck
Oh yeah.
you."
Oh, okay. Yeah. I would. Yeah. Very much a Deku and Bakugo situation if you're looking at it like that. So this rich guy, not only is he like very wealthy, he has everybody in the pocket of his hands. He can do whatever he wants, but his dad is the boss of his dad. So the main character couldn't do anything about anything because he kept on saying, "Oh, my dad's gonna fire your dad." So then he was just bullied, treated like shit. And then the main character started hating his family because they just like didn't care about what was going on with him. And then whatchamacallit, everybody else started treating him like shit. And then the moment he tried to fight back a little bit, then his dad's job got threatened. And then at some point in Sweet Home, and this is all kind of leaning into who the main character is. And his whole entire family, he hates his family at this point because they didn't care enough. They all die in a car crash. So now he's
the rich kid. Was it actual accident or was it orchestrated?
No, it was an accident.
Okay.
So it was an accident because what happened is Shotgun Boy caused a bunch of chaos, which led to the parents' death. Like they're connected, and that the reason why his family died is because of what happened in Shotgun Boy.
Yeah, I'm like 10 chapters into Shotgun Boy. So
Shotgun Boy is fantastic. I love it. Right after it, you got to read Sweet Home, 100%.
That's crazy because that start is fucking wild. My God.
Yeah, so Sweet Home, there's a guy that was bullied, treated like shit. Then afterwards, he actually wanted to kill himself after his family died because all his relatives think like he's a terrible person. Then he had to come back, and he was like very important for Sweet Home in the narrative that he had to rise from the ashes. Basically, Shotgun Boy is very similar to the point people were bullying him too, but in Shotgun Boy, he had an opportunity he had an AR in his hand. He had an opportunity to spray. Like he wanted to spray because of how badly they were treated. But then he had a job to do. He had a job to do, and he had to rise from the ashes too. So I like stories where I like those type of stories too. And I see the appeal for this story. I would like this story. But I'll be honest, I don't like the pervy and sex stuff. I just don't like it. I'll be honest. I think if it doesn't serve a purpose, because for everything I've seen, other than like what I know, and it really makes me not like the main character, not gonna lie. But even the other stuff that's not even related to how scumbag the main character is, I just don't like all this sex and like why is she masked? Like why? Like she didn't. You didn't even do that. I feel like if it doesn't serve a purpose, it doesn't like. You're just
I
doing
this
it
this
to
is
shock the
where
audience.
this is one of the few critiques I have of Mushoku Tensei. Like, if you want to show, like, the first time the dad's name is Paul and Zenith.
Mhm.
Those are his parents, right? The first time, he kind of kisses her, right? And then you already know what's going on. You don't need to show it. So the problem is, this is where I'm like, and even Lonnie said it yourself, you need to watch like the first 7 for real to kind of show, because all this is kind of laying the foundation to what he is. Now, do we need
But does
to
this stuff
see?
end?
Technically,
Or
yes. After
so
episode
doesn't it
7,
stop being like all this sexual stuff after the 7 episodes?
well, they're gonna come back, but it's never gonna be as bad as it
I'm
is
just talking
right
about in totality, not just the parents.
now. No, there will be some more sexual nature stuff, but it will never be as bad as it is here. Do we
Okay.
need to see Roxy masturbate? No, we did not. We really didn't. Okay,
Yeah.
but it's, God, to this day, I'm still like, why the fuck would they show me that? But is it bad? Yes. And even when we go, if you want to end up talking about what he was in his older life, like, one of Rudius's biggest regrets, like, and I guess I'm going to say this because it is a spoiler, but it's not really a spoiler, is the fact that he tried to stop those bullies back in his old life, right? Because you clearly saw what they did to him, and you got like a light amount. The anime really dumbs it down what they did to him. Like, it was so bad that he never left his house. From the moment that happened to him till the moment you see him getting kicked out, he was like 35, I believe. And the reason they kicked him is because his parents died, like they died of old age, and he didn't go to the funeral. He's legitimately horrified to go outside because of the trauma that he went through, right? Does that justify the person that he becomes? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. He is a horrible person. And that's why, even though, even in the web novel, when I tell you his siblings kicked the shit out of him and then they kicked him out, they kicked the shit out of him because he deserves it. He absolutely does.
100% deserved it.
And then, so when he goes and you saw him truck basically about to isekai those 3 kids, right? He, for like the first time in his life, is like, I need to do something else. And that's why he jumps and pushes those kids away to what you call it. And then that's when he gets hit by a truck when he reincarnates, right? So you're literally watching, like you said it, you're literally watching a guy come all the way from the bottom, but just because he's coming all the way from the bottom does not change the person that he is. He's a perv. He doesn't really know social interaction. That's why he's relying on cheesy, terrible pickup lines from dating sim games, right? And he's learning how to break all that. Even how humble he is because he never wants to be too cocky or anything like that. Because the last time he was like that, his life literally went to shit. And I know I'm doing a lot here, and basically I'm just trying to convince you to watch to like episode 7 to when you see the narrative actually for real start. But this is a big part of Rudius's character that he learns over time to get out of, because that's how realistically it would be. Even I understand that it only took 2 episodes for Rudy to leave the house. The first light novel volume of Mushoku Tensei is just him learning how to get out the house. That's all it really is. It's just him learning how to do that. Roxy is such a big part of his life, right? And sure, him stealing the panties, can't defend that at all. And it's one of the worst parts of the anime, literally the worst parts of the story. Can't defend it. But that kind of reverence that he has for Roxy and what she did for him, because without Roxy, it's like, if the ramen guy, obviously I haven't read Naruto, if the ramen guy doesn't exist in Naruto for real, I understand there's Iruka, right? Iruka Sensei who also comes in clutch. But if the ramen guy doesn't exist, Naruto probably destroys the village one day, for real. And I'm just saying, and Roxy is like the ramen guy times like a million. Times a million. Because I'm obviously not trying to spoil what happens in the story.
I see what you're saying. For me, as of right now,
Shout
I'll
out
put
to
it
the
like
ramen
this.
guy.
I'll put it like this. So there are series that and I wanna be very clear to the people. I am a big advocate in indulging in certain, sexual actions. And I'm not gonna tell you all the stuff I've been doing. I do, but I like to keep anime and
What do you
that
mean by that?
stuff completely separate. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, like I handle my business. I handle my business, but it's like that's just different. Like when I'm watching an anime, when I'm reading a story, I'm reading a story. I'm reading a narrative. That's all I care about. I don't care about anything else. I care about the narrative.
Mhm.
But there is a separate type of list. I have this. This is called my. I'll only watch this list if I'm watching it with a female. This is called I will watch it with the female list.
You should definitely not watch this with a female unless you like Lonnie and Moon Peaches. Like you got to be this is the woman you're probably prepared to marry, kind of stuff. Because
I think
this
it'll be all right. So
I would never watch this with a female if I'm being 100% honest with you. Because
I would.
My thing is I love the story so much, and the amount of like even just talking to you, trying to like. I understand the really nasty part you just saw. That's why I was like chilling in episode 1. I was like, oh, he doesn't fucking know what's about to happen yet. But like that's why because I've watched this with a few females, that's why I've had this kind of stance. Because every time I've watched this with a female, the amount of questions I have to answer after that, and I'm trying not to spoil the story for them, are egregious.
Well, I've never seen it, so I don't have to worry about that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But my list of series that I watch with a female is just because there's no way I can watch this by myself. Because not gonna lie, Random, if you weren't here, I would have dropped it at the beginning of episode 2.
Mm-hmm.
I would have legit dropped it the moment I saw what Roxy was doing.
I was like, power through, my boy.
I would have dropped the series
because I was legitimately like, I guess it's just done. We're just done.
Yeah, I had to finish it though. So my list of watch with females, I have Game of Thrones on there. I've never seen Game of Thrones. That's on my list. Like I'm just gonna, if I got a girl, if we want to watch Game of Thrones, I'll watch it with a girl because I'm not that interested to watch it by myself. I'm be honest. And now
after season 4, it's booty cheeks. So basically, after the Red Wedding, it's booty cheeks.
That's what I heard.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna throw. I threw Walking Dead on that. I threw Walking Dead on that.
I saw the first episode. Say, I'm all right. I don't need this in my life.
I dropped it after like 4 episodes, but
that first episode is great, and then I started watching the second one. I said, yeah, I'm all right.
I'm not mad at it.
That's horrifying.
Mushoku Tensei is on that list. It's on that list for now. To be fair, there's a lot of series I got to catch up on. Mm-hmm. I'm not gonna throw it in. I'll never see it in my life because there's a few series in there like Interspecies Reviewers. Threw that in the can, bro. I watched 2 minutes of that. And I was like, this is hentai.
I've heard about the series and I've read a synopsis, but I never actually watched it. It's one of those like I'll get to it eventually. You know, enough people talk about it that I'll always kind of like.
Wait, what? Get to what is it? That's hentai. That's literally just hentai.
Okay,
I'm dead serious. I dropped it after 2 minutes. Do you feel the same way towards cinema? Well, in terms of movies, yeah. But if you have an example, the reason why I wouldn't even say this is similar to like Berserk is because I feel like everything that Berserk did was intentional.
And I would argue, I understand right now, even though I said what I said, everything that Mushoku Tensei does is also intentional.
You just said the sex stuff in the beginning wasn't intentional.
I said, I don't know why they did it, but it's intentional to show you. Because you love, let me tell you this right now. Without spoiling, you love the parents, right? You love the parents.
I like the parents, yeah.
Watch until episode 5.
Them having sex all the time is not gonna that's not gonna change their character. You can build up 2 great.
That's not.
Have you seen Hitman Reborn? Have you seen Hitman Reborn?
I have not seen that.
Hitman Reborn does a great job in setting up the 2 parents, and you never see anything like that.
So, I understand. Look, mind you, this is the problem with Mushoku Tensei is that if this came out 2013, like when all the other kind of big ones came out, this wouldn't be an issue. It's an issue now because we've seen so much of this that Mushoku Tensei is like in your face with it because this is what the story is. This is why it took such a long time for it to get an adaptation.
I don't remember any series really like that in 2013.
When did Slime come out?
Slime doesn't have stuff like that.
No, but when did Slime and Overlord come out?
I don't know. I feel like Overlord may have been 2013. Slime, I feel like took a little bit until it came out.
Check Overlord Season 1.
Um,
Oh, my bad. 2015. Came out in 2015. So even if it came out in 2015, like,
I mean, people criticize people criticize Shield Hero because of all the R word allegations. People criticize. I've never
I
seen it.
criticize SAO for that. Every single season, they use the R word as a plot device. Every single season, without fail, and it's
It's just
bad.
lazy. Like,
It's that's the problem. It's lazy. You want to show tension? Put some female characters in a very compromising and scary position. And mind you, season 1, Alpha Mark is terrible, absolutely dumb as fuck. Season 3, that situation, because what it does to one of the characters makes a lot of sense. That's the only one that I allow. But the one that they did at the end of season 2 was bad. The one at the end of season 4 is just insulting. It's insulting to just do that for no reason. To have basically a pseudo hentai scene real quick in season 4. Yeah, because this is a world war. Why are you trying to throw a hentai scene in there? Same thing with Sasavelli. What Sasavelli said with Goblin Slayer. Goblin Slayer,
I felt was because I actually watched
the manga's horrible. The manga does not hide it from you, but the anime does.
I couldn't read, like, crazy thing. So I watched the entirety of season 1 of Goblin Slayer, and I actually do think that everything that happened in Goblin Slayer I felt was intentional. Where in the manga I couldn't get through chapter 1. I'll be honest.
It's tough. No, it's absolutely tough.
I can't get through that.
Absolutely tough because the manga doesn't hide it from you. Like the
Yeah.
anime does. Or even like same thing with the night level was the same thing as the manga. But I think they let you know because what Demon Slayer's initial the Goblin Slayer's initial thing is just showing you that this is not your typical fantasy story. That's what it's doing by that showing you exactly what happens when you don't prepare. Because I think of those goblins in that show like they're like 7th graders, like 7th or 8th graders, right? And that's what I mean. Like people are like, are 7th graders dangerous? Like realistic right now. If you walk into a room of 7th or 8th graders, right? Do you think you could take them out? Yeah. The problem is, but if you walk in there completely unprepared, they're not smart, right? But the goblins in that show are not dumb either.
For sure.
They're not dumb, and they prey on adventurers' lack of preparedness, and they prey on that all the time. And the fact that the only people who really know how dangerous goblins are the veteran adventurers, and Goblin Slayer, because that's all he freaking does, is dumb. But it took so long. Like in season 2, they finally start training the new recruits before they start doing these quests. And I'm like, why did it take so long to do that? Especially when you're watching.
That comes with arrogance, obviously. For the most
so that's
part.
the problem. Goblins consistently prey on the arrogance of these adventurers because it's just a room of 7th graders or 8th graders. I'll be fine. But when you walk in a room of 8th graders and they got traps and shit already for you, and you're over here just kind of prepared to box, like now you got it because you walked in there unprepared. That's the problem.
Yeah. When it comes to Goblin Slayer, I also understand the criticism, like, bro, this is in a series, an anime. There's also some people tend to think that anime is all just hunky-dory, where there's so many variety with the anime. But this is an anime where it really sets the precedent off on you gotta hate these goblins. And they start off by showing how bad these goblins are. But moving forward, like you said, after episode 1, at that point, we never really see it like that because those situations are trying to get prevented by the Goblin Slayer and him constantly taking out the goblins. And so at that point, they showed how evil these goblins are. And then there are times where it gets very, very close. Well, we know the story we're trying to see. We're trying to see a guy taking out our word is constantly. And people are gonna appeal to that. And I read the story because I could, like, you see it happened to his sister, and then he wants revenge, and then he meets a bunch of people. They're equally as arrogant, by the way. They don't know the dangers of goblins, but he does. And also what made it appealing for Goblin Slayer is because he's not like a like super being. He just
He's
knows
just-
a lot about goblins.
He's the guy that makes sure, like, if you're doing a quest together, he's the guy that makes sure you got all your potions. He's just the guy that's always prepared. You want that guy with you on a road trip because he's always prepared. That's who Goblin Slayer is. Like, you notice if you watch the show, he's not saving the world. That's the hero's job. But, like, for instance, if Goblin Slayer doesn't exist, the hero of Goblin Slayer doesn't exist either, because he saves her village from a goblin attack when she's like very young, and then that's how she's able to become the hero from that.
Oh, is the hero introduced in season 1 or
You
season
see
2?
her, you see her a couple times, like
I
barely.
don't remember.
Like, you know, remember randomly they just found like these 3 girls were fighting like a powerful demon for some reason in the show. Like they
It's
do
been
these
a while since I watched it before.
they do this random cutaways to what the hero is doing, right?
Mhm.
Just to kind of show you that, hey, Goblin Slayer is doing, like, there's still something else going on here. Like in the whole kind of, because I've also caught up all the way on the Goblin Slayer story. There is a demon king kind of coming back.
You're right.
The whole time, and the hero is dealing with that. And what Goblin Slayer is doing, it's like he's taking care of all the stuff that's dangerous that people don't work, that don't really.
Which is another interesting fantasy perspective that they're kind of tapping into, not gonna lie. But I feel like for me, at the very least, since I'm like really into the game with anime, like I've seen so many, something like Mushoku Tensei is not something that's like new to me. So it didn't grasp me as well as it probably would grasp some other people. Because I see the fantasy trajectory that they're about to go on. I'm not gonna say like I know everything they're about to do. The story is probably, I mean, Random says is like amazing, so I'm not gonna deny that. So it doesn't. I feel like if I was more of like a noobish person, the story would kind of grasp onto me more. I think that's another big factor, even though it has like all the stuff some of the stuff that I don't like. But I probably would have grasped onto it because there's so many anime back in the day when I was an anime novice that I watched just because I was an anime novice. Like I watched Neon Genesis Evangelion. I hate Neon Genesis Evangelion.
I still don't. I've watched I have no idea. I need someone to like literally sit down and explain that to me like I'm a 7th grader. Because why am I supposed to like this show? Why am I supposed
because
to like
Shinji's that same not I'm not gonna say he's same with Rudius, but he's that same like loser-ish character that attracts people, that people can resonate with, and then he becomes like the most important guy, and then he does a bunch of dumb shit that I just don't like. Shinji's also whiny as hell. I'm not like I don't like Shinji at all, like straight up at all. I don't like him at all. Yeah, I don't like Neon Genesis Evangelion. If you can't tell, really don't like it. I'll be honest. Keep it a stack. But there's other series that I've watched in the past that I just won't ever watch now because I just don't like it. Some romance anime too. I watched this one romance anime back in the day. Bro, here's this one girl that was taking care of him, that was always there for him, and he chose someone else. And I was
what was the name of the show? Do you remember? Or what was the premise?
Oh,
man, I think I might know what you're talking about.
Long ago. So there's an anime. I think his parents died, and he's been living with this one girl for a while. And you can tell she likes him. She's always been there for him. She's always taking care of him. And he had to choose. Oh yeah, and then a demon girl and an angel girl also showed up, and they were trying to. So yeah, this is like I was like young. So I didn't hate harem and romance as much as I do now, but I was young. So there's the daughter of a demon king and the daughter of like the god. These 2 girls are sent to this world, and they had to be picked by him. So he had the choice of demon girl, angel girl, and then
childhood friend.
Looming in the background is that girl that's always there for him and taking care of him. He doesn't choose any of those 3. He chooses this tomboy-ass girl who's been like friends with him, but like they were always like buddy, but you never really thought that he was gonna choose her of all people. So I was like, bruh, you ain't gonna choose the girl that's been taking care of. He's like, nah, you're just like, I get it, you're just like my sister.
Did that girl have blue hair? Because there's this thing where like blue-haired anime girls never get the guy in harems. They never do.
I think she had like brownish hair. And let me look up this romance anime with
Because I'm like you, I'm also not a fan of most harems. Like if somebody tells me to watch a harem show, I'm like, you're getting like an episode with me because you have to sell me on this. Because like let's see, the ones that I really like the most, quintessential quintuplets, but I like that because that was one of the first harems I watched when I was a young pup. That I watched. Rent a Girlfriend, obviously, because that's also when I was young. Missing one more.
Bro, if anybody knows the anime I'm
Oh,
talking about,
We never learn. That one's one, but I like that one because the manga does what most every harem anime should just do, where every girl wins. So you follow the canon one, right, where one girl wins, but then the author's like, I'm just gonna write 4 different stories for other like Elseworld stories where every girl wins, so everybody technically gets to see their chosen waifu get the guy. So I like that one. Clannad is another good one, and that also does the same thing where they created an episode for where every other girl wins besides the main girl.
okay, I hear you. I'm looking.
Mhm.
They consider the case study of Vanitas a romance anime, bro. A case study of Vanitas,
I mean, there's
arguably,
romance in there, but would you say it's a romance anime?
I wouldn't call it a romance anime. 100% not.
Unless they're
But
really selling those when they started sucking each other's blood for real.
bro, Vanitas and Wet Hair Girl,
Fruits
bro.
Basket is
I
another
love that.
one.
I love
Fruits
that
Basket is
relationship,
another
bro.
one, but I have a major problem with Fruits. It's not even with the actual show itself. It's one of the spin-offs where I'm like, all right, I'm fucking out because
Fruit
y'all really
Basket, I could never really. I think I watched the original a little bit, but I can never really.
the reboot is better in my opinion. Your Lie April is a good one too. Your Lie in April is a good one too. That's the
I'm
one
also
about
not a
the.
big romance guy in general. I'm not very emotional person now,
That's a shame
so
because
that's just
I would have a
me.
few that I think you would like. But if you're not that emotional, then some of the big ones like Toradora would one I think you would like just because of the story itself. But there are really big emotional highs in there. Where if you're not very
I
emotional, just
appreciate
not what you
Horimiya because I think they tell. I mean, I appreciate a romance story that's not like the simplistic like stuff. The Horimiya was good because right off the bat, they knew they liked each other. So I don't have to go through the BS like, oh yeah, do I like them? Do I not like them? And then you just got to see their relationship develop. So that was cool. And then the science one I watched too. That one, the ending of season 2, that one was good because it was
Oh,
very
Science fell
sciencey.
in love, so I try to prove it.
Yeah, I hate the ending of season 2, not gonna lie, but
They didn't need to do a season 2. The show was over after season 1. It was over. The main
I
couple we
agree.
needed to see get together got together.
And then season 2 happened because of the other girl, and
That's
that whole thing.
tough.
Season 2 ending was terrible, by the way.
She was
terrible.
a friend at the end of season 1. She was just like, "Oh, I'm happy y'all got together. Bet if you want to do a season 2, then showcase everybody else. We already got the main couple. We don't. That's what makes the second season of Horimiya so good, in my opinion. We don't need to see anything special or anything different happening with Miyamura and Hori. We already know they're together. So now we want to watch Ishikawa and Hori's best friend get together, or the glasses
Bro, we
girl.
were still waiting for fucking Ishikawa, the blonde hair guy, right?
No, Ishikawa is purple haired. He's the guy that liked Hori before she started talking to Miyamura. Because remember, like at the end
Oh,
of the
you're
first.
talking about Hiramori. I was talking about the science anime.
Oh no.
The role, yeah. The Horimiya relationship between purple hair guy and the other girl was annoying as hell. I'm gonna be honest. I did
I was
not
like,
like that.
y'all just fucking say the truth. Just speak truth, and with Gucci. Don't lie to the other guy who really likes the Horimiya's best friend, but she's scared to say no to him, so she just creates a fake relationship. I was like, all right, this is the worst part of Horimiya right fucking here.
Yeah, that
No
shit was
goddamn reason.
cringe as hell. I'm like, bro, I hate when people are difficult for no reason. That's how I feel about it. You're just being difficult for no reason. We don't need all this. No, we don't need all this. I can't find. I'm trying to look for that title for that anime, and I can't find. It was such a niche anime. It was back in the day when I really didn't know much about anime.
The worst harem one I watched was Yosuga no Sora. I was not prepared for that.
Sora.
I was not prepared for that. It's technically
never
off
heard of it.
It's technically off a game in Japan where the main character gets with like, so the anime does, he has like 4 different girls that he gets with, because it does like 2 episodes with one girl. Then if the main character makes a different choice, then he ends up with another girl. You know, it's one of those kind of things. And
Yeah.
then the last 5 is what the actual canon one was. And it's such a bad decision to do the one that he get. Do you want me to tell you? Because you're never gonna watch this.
Yeah, just
He gets with his actual sister.
what the fuck? Like, why?
Exactly. Because look, because you see at some point, right? That
What is it called?
Yosuga no Sora, I believe that's the one.
Yosu.
Or Santo, am I right or am I wrong? Let me know, please, because that's the one where I'm like, get the fuck out of here. There's also another girl in there you shouldn't have got with, because she only basically assaults my boy.
Oh,
younger.
this one. I think you told us about this. Yeah, that shit's cringe.
That
as fuck,
shit's,
no.
I was like, fuck this. I was so mad. I didn't even watch the final episode, because what the fuck did I need to watch the final episode for? I knew what was gonna happen. So I was disappointed in that.
Man, see the problem with romance series, unless you can make it unique like Horimiya does, and I think Kaguya-sama does a good job.
Kaguya-sama does well.
I heard, unless you can make it unique, I think this is my issue with all romance stories. It's not even just, it's basically just leading up to him choosing the right person, and then when they don't choose the right person, you're just pissed. So it's either, okay, let's lead up to the right person, or just get pissed at the end. There's really there's no satisfaction. I don't get no satisfaction. I'm not an emotional person anyway, but if the story is that simplistic, then I'm like, I'm not gaining anything from seeing a romance story, which is why I appreciate Horimiya. They took out the BS and just kind of made it a slice of life. That's what Horimiya kind of did. They just kind of made it a slice of life.
So Aaron, to answer your question, the Snow White one didn't hit me, I think, the way they wanted it to, but I thought it was okay. Magnus Bride, in my opinion, is good. Irregular at Magic High School, it's like,
oh, I heard that freaking
he's
trying to get with his half sister or something, like a sister.
So technically,
his sister's trying to get with him.
They don't explain it well. So but they are, to the best of my knowledge, they are actually like brother and sister, right? But this is like in the future, where this is one basically like you get to see the future with magic and technology like mixed together.
Yeah.
The problem is the show around that goddamn travesty is fantastic. The problem is, since the main character's a badass, every girl has to like him for some reason. Every girl just has to.
Yeah, I was
even the one where they had a genuinely good couple in season 1, and then by the end of, if they ever do a season 3, they're gonna fucking fumble that, because that girl has to like the main character too. But other than that, I think the show is great. The action is great, all that. So the problem is, the main character of that show, they're part of like a really like powerful family in Japan, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there was something wrong with his like magic power, like he doesn't have enough or something like that. So his family kind of forsook him, like forsaken him, and then so he gets some kind of experiment to dampen his emotions, but he becomes like a super powerful dude, and his job is to protect his sister, who's like a fucking prodigy. Like her main power is ice, but she can freeze your fucking body from the inside out. She's nasty with it, right? So for a long time, the sister hated her brother because she listened to what her family said. Then the brother basically sacrifices himself to save her, right? And then the brother has his magic powers that he can rewind himself. So let's just say you shoot his ass up with a gun. He can rewind himself to a certain point, and he can survive it, kind of thing. And he can also spread that to, I think, a few people, right? The problem is he takes on like the pain and stuff. So after he does that, to the girl, she's like, "Oh my God, you saved my life. I was wrong about you." And instead of just being like, "I got the best brother ever," she's like, "I kind of want to fuck my brother."
See, I don't know why Japan does stuff like that, because they do the same thing with No Game No Life. It's like a weird relationship thing with the brother and the sister. But I heard that anytime someone tells me, and like I get it and I appreciate it, but anytime someone tells me it's good, But there's this one thing that
It's
you
a
just-
big part. That's why I want
Oh.
to glaze. I really want to glaze irregular at Magic High School, but I can't. I can't because of that. That's a big, especially when you're throwing like Suigesa. She's another one of the big family, other families in the show of Japan. She's fantastic. She's a little bit. I think she's a year older than him. She's perfect, man. She's like your wife with them. Like I get why people sent for her, but you know that she's never truly going to win because of that bullshit right there. It's always going to hurt the show. And mind you, that series is very popular in Japan. So of course they're going to keep making more of it, right? There's nothing we can do about it, but that's always going to hurt it in eyes of foreign
If
fans.
you want to do that weird shit like Japan likes to do, then you should just do it with a side character. Because there's like series out there that do it, like JJK has that weird shit with one of the characters and her brother. Durarara has that weird shit. There's a side character of this girl and she's like in love with her brother. There's another series in mind. What is it called? Why am I blinking on it's a power series, Bungo Stray Dogs. One of the side characters has this weird relationship with the guy and his sister. Like these shits is weird, but they're side characters. So you can like when they come on screen, it's just gonna be weird for a bit, but it's not gonna take over the story. When you have your main characters just doing weird shit, how are you expecting anybody to get into that? I don't know why people do that. It's so annoying. Just like
Radell,
you want to do the weird shit, do it with side characters.
Radell, the only time I was cool with it, which is ironically when SAO did it, because they didn't know who each other were, right? Because they're playing the game, right? But the problem is, once you find out, I get there's going to be some awkwardness for a little bit after that, but dead that shit. Dead it. Don't fucking have his cousin trying to fuck him all the time after that. Golden Time is another good one. Golden Time's good.
Yeah, I've heard good things with Golden
That's the one
Time.
where the guy gets in a crash and he has amnesia. So he goes to Tokyo.
Amnesia plot line. Interesting.
It sounds weird, but if you have a chance, go watch it. It's also one of those with like misunderstandings. Like the girl, the main heroine, is not my favorite, but I understand why people like her, and it actually ties it off pretty well. Golden Time's another good one.
As of right now, but overall, like I don't mind romances. Like obviously, there's like characters that you want your characters to kind of get with. Angel Beats. The only reason why I can't watch Angel Beats is because I was spoiled with the ending, and that was like the biggest thing. So I was like, I already know the crazy ending that happens. So that's the same thing what I feel about Erased. I can't watch Erased because I know the ending.
That's true. I watched the ending to every race on a clip on YouTube. You know, when you're just kind of autoplay going, right?
Yeah.
And I was rewatching the Tengen fight, and you just kind of keep going after that, and all of a sudden it was like boom, the Erased ending. I was like, fuck. And I heard the anime's not that good anyway.
Same, but the Erased ending is terrible too. So it's like I'm glad I didn't.
That's what happens when you fumble time travel. Time travel is very hard to do it right.
And that's why I appraise, as of right now, Eden Zero. Eden Zero has been doing time travel justice. I'm being honest. Shout out Mashima for that. Eden Zero has been pretty good from what I've seen so far. What else was I thinking of? Tokyo Revengers 100% fumble time travel. Straight up fumble. Terrible. But
Mikey should have just died in the end, for real.
Or just don't do. Oh, Steins Gate also does time travel. I haven't watched. That's like the only like GOAT anime that I've never seen.
I hear nothing but good things about Steins Gate.
Same here. There's no good reason why I haven't seen it. I just haven't seen it.
By the way, another isekai that a lot of people told me to watch, but I just never have a chance to, is Gate itself. The one
I heard mixed reviews.
Yeah,
I heard 50.
That's the one. It's like regular, like Japan today, and then a portal opens to a fantasy world, and they low key invade the fantasy world with like a regular army, and I'm like, would we really do that, or would we just fucking send some rockets in there?
Send a nuke. Oh, a good isekai that I like. That I would argue it's better than SAO. Personally, because I like how they handle the video game aspect. They're much more meticulous and much more strategic. And that's Log Horizon.
Yes.
Log Horizon,
Hor-
I think, does a great job in like setting up the isekai world, and they're actually kind of similar, like in terms of the main character for Log Horizon and the main character of Slime is like they are very particular on like setting up everything right, and the main character does a great job for that. Log Horizon slept on, really good.
I wish they did the ninja girl that's part of his party. Like it took me a long time to like buy her because I'm like, this is the anime shit. Like she's calling him my lord and blah blah blah, and she's like, this is the anime
She's
shit.
a big like a ninja. She's like
bro,
that type of
I
stuff.
get that you're cosplaying, but y'all in it now. You don't need to cosplay this much. Like you don't need to cosplay this much at all. But it was just it took me a second to get in there. But Sausage Valley Log Horizon is very good. It's one of the more slept ones because it's never going to be in the Mount Rushmore, of my opinion, which is Mushoku, Overlord, Slime, and ReZero. Or if you want to take Mushoku out and put SAO there, it's never going to be one of those top tier ones. But Log Horizon, in my opinion, is better than SAO.
Yeah, Log Horizon. I agree. I think they do a great job when developing all the characters, and the power system's way more detailed on like the strategies. The main character is not OP. Not at all, not even close. He's just smart and he knows how to play the game.
And he has the respect of other people because they know, because it was that his like main account too, or did he not? Something happened. I can't remember. But either way, he's very smart. He has a respect of a lot of other adventures and also the world itself. And you see the wider world, and then you realize that people in Japan were not the only people that were taken. So people were playing this game across the world. So I think in season 4, they have you go to the Chinese server where you meet his kind of sensei or master, that girl. You see her, and she's trying to go through the Chinese server to make it back to Japan. So you kind of follow her for a little bit. World Trigger's another good one, in my opinion.
World Trigger, I say this all the time, that World Trigger, the biggest downfall of World Trigger is the MC. He's just not interesting. But the crazy thing is the secondary main character and like the hype character, we all know a hype character. So Kuga is he's a mad lad. He's that guy. He's him. But you know who's more him is Jin. Jin is more him than Kuga is. So like World Trigger has a fantastic cast of characters. They have so many that actually have depth and intrigue and their own motives. And what World Trigger does best is World Triggers might be the best series in terms of power system. That probably power system and strategy and how they kind of utilize the two in terms of the amount of strategies they do with the World Trigger scenarios and simulations and the detail in terms of the power system. It looks simple on the surface. You got a sniper, you got a person who goes and attacks like a more of a enforcer, you got a strategist. Like they have all these different traits, but the way they utilize it and the strategies they do is so intricate. World Trigger is 100% slept on. But it has a bunch of chapters. It's popular overall, but it's definitely not in certain conversations.
Salsavelli, ReZero is good, but ReZero is the only anime where I have to watch twice. Like the first time I'm watching the episode just to watch it, and then the second one I was like, okay, I need to understand what the fuck just happened. But ReZero's good. And obviously, if you can handle the gore and God, Subaru just goes through it in that show, man. Like I think in the anime, he's died.
Tell I wouldn't like Subaru though. I'm be honest.
In the beginning, you definitely won't. Well, obviously, he's not as you would not like Subaru for a different reason than you would not like somebody like Rudius. But he definitely grows into. He's one of the more mentally
like a Shinji type, just very whiny
in the beginning. But by the end of season 2, he's one of the more mentally strong MCs like you'll probably ever meet in the isekai setting. And he's also, by the end of season 2, he's very mentally adept. Oh,
that's good. Shout out character development. I haven't seen Naruma, but I've seen
that show's hilarious.
Yeah, it is like a comedy type.
Yeah, it is more comedy, but they do kind of get more serious. Because I'm trying to catch up in the manga. And Tsukimichi Moonlit Fantasy is another one that's slept on. I put in kind of the same tier as Log Horizon. The thing about this one is that it's like an isekai / reverse isekai, if you get what I mean.
Reverse isekai.
So it's basically like to kind of give you a quick synopsis is that the main character's parents went to Earth. Something happened, which I will not tell you because it's kind of important, right? I'm not going to tell you what happened.
Yeah,
but
I'm probably gonna watch it at some point.
Yeah.
I'm gonna lie.
So they went to Earth, and then in order, as a deal of them going to Earth, they promised the goddess of the world that they left that one of their kids has to come back to save the world that they left. And he was actually wasn't supposed to be the MC, was supposed to be one of his sisters, but he goes instead. But then once he gets there, shit happens. That's all I'm gonna say.
It sounds like an interesting press. I might have to lock in. Not gonna lie.
Season 2's going right now. The problem is I don't like when you compare it to the manga, the feel of what they're doing with the anime. I don't like it. Like you're trying to make this more funny than it actually
they're
should be.
being a little too comedic. I hear you.
But now in season 2, like, is it still kind of comedic? Yeah, but now you're starting to get into the nitty gritty of what's actually going on. Plus, I will say this: the MC, and they'll tell you in the anime, he's not the only person that was taken from Earth as well.
Okay, I like that. I like different perspectives. Have you watched Has Been Hotel?
I have not.
I've watched the pilot on YouTube. I watched a little bit of Hell of a Boss. Like, there's intrigue behind it, but I'm gonna keep it a stack. I can 100% understand why people see a little bit of it and go like, "You're trying to corrupt my kids." I can 100% understand why people would say that because it is a series that just goes for it. It doesn't care. It goes for it. Lots of sex, lots of drugs, lots of. It doesn't matter what your identity is. You fuck everything. Like it's literally one of those type of series. It's interesting. I like some of the songs. It's cool, but I understand. I would understand, and I would probably tell parents, don't let your kid watch this. Do not let your kid watch this. 100%. 100% shouldn't.
Well, I guess so. We don't go to because we're already past 2 hours.
100%.
How do you want to? Let's wrap it up with Mushoku. I'll answer any more questions. Plus, I guess I can try to get you to watch at least episode 7, Radell. Even though if you don't, I can just spoil it for you if you want.
No, don't spoil it. Like I said, it's on my. I will watch it in a special scenario. So my list of special circumstance, I'll watch it, and it's not on that list for sure. With like Game of Thrones, for example, and Walking Dead. Because to be fair, I'm giving it much more like grace than I did for the dungeon pickup girls at a dungeon anime that my friend really likes for some reason. He showed me the first 2 episodes
multiple times. Riddell, I had to watch it multiple. I cannot stand his god. I cannot stand her. Was Hestia? I can't stand her.
Yeah,
I
just don't like any.
I don't like her. Who else I don't like? I don't like the girl that he's really sweet on. I think there are other people he could be sweet on instead of Eyes.
I don't like the fact every girl that he meets falls in love with him. Like, bro.
And also, I'm terrified of Freya. If she ever gets her hands on him, he is screwed. But when you learn about, at the end of season 1, you learn like his origin. You're like, well, okay, I get it, but at the same time, come on, because I think he's should I say it? Spoilers.
Yeah, that's fine with me. I'm not gonna watch it.
He's like the son of Zeus, so that's why he's the way he is. He's like the son of Zeus, or
of course he's the son of Zeus, the Zeus who sleeps with everything that lives. Okay, all right, so makes sense to me, man.
All right. So you want to wrap it up? You got any more questions?
No, I'll put it on the situational list, so it's not dead in the water. But shout out Mushoku Tensei. I see the appeal. I understand why people like it. I understand why people enjoy it. And tune in tomorrow, noon, Shonen Jump reaction. I hear that My boy Yuta cooking. I hear it. My boy Yuta's cooking. That's all I'm saying. I think there's a My Hero chapter that's coming out this week.
Is it out? I thought it was on break again.
I think it's coming out this week because it was on break last week. I don't remember, to be honest.
Usually my guy who reviews the chapters would have came out with a video. Maybe I just missed it. But
Okay.
we need to see how this throwing your vestiges at this crack's gonna work out. Because we're
so corny, bro.
let me let you know on Tuesday it's gonna be J-Rob's gonna be there. It's gonna be a freaking low-key showdown between all of us about what the hell's going on with the Vestiges world, with probably me and Miles sitting that out, because Ty's gonna have to do some heavy lifting to explain it to all of us about why we should really care about that.
No, there's nothing Tyler say that it's gonna convince me, because I understand where Ty's coming from. I just don't agree with his premise. But with that said, that's probably not going to be the biggest debate on Tuesday. It's going to be the Avatar debate, because they were going way harder with the Avatar debate and Korra debate than the
y'all froze my phone. You guys froze my phone with all the amount. I woke up in the morning because I'm obviously on the West Coast, so I don't. By the time I woke up at 7 o'clock, there was like 200 messages of Miles J-Rob just throwing hands in the comments over Korra. Then of course Lonnie comes in and beats Lonnie, and then Ty, and it was just like, oh my god. And I was like, I've never seen Korra, so I'm just not. I heard it was trash, so I just let it go, and I'm still mad we never got a Book of Air.
It is trash, bro. I mean, me, Miles, Ty, and Lonnie, I think we all agree that Legend of Korra is not good, but the debate was Korra way stronger than Aang.
Oh,
so that is
that's why I need J-Rob to defend that point, because like the fact that he was like Aang, I think the thing was like he thought that Aang could beat Korra in a fight. I was like, Aang ain't trying to fight nobody for real. He's a monk. He's a pacifist.
But
he was getting waxed in that Ozai fight for the majority of it.
He could have beaten him, but he was like you said, he's a pacifist. He wanted to end it properly. Shows that I'm so upset. Well, they're coming up with a new Avatar. I'm just gonna watch a YouTube video breaking down the entirety of Korra because I'm not watching it. I tried it. I did not like it. I don't like Korra as an MC.
That too.
And then I'm gonna watch the next season. Hopefully, it's better.
Once I saw Codename Super make that video about her getting embarrassed in front of the army, and she's the Avatar by like some dude who couldn't even bend. I said, yeah, I'm out. Codename Super did a like 8-minute video about it, so I was like, all right. But all right, so to kind of wrap it up, Mushoku Tensei, if you ever want to recommend this to someone, first of all, I'd be like, hopefully you recommend to the right person, but tell them to at least watch the first 7. Radell, why I say the first 7, you meet basically almost everyone who's important to the story at the jump in terms of really big characters, right? And also you get to really understand why Rudius is the way he is and why you maybe have a chance to see, okay, let me see why I should continue his story, because at the end of episode 7, the turning point happens. And Radell, every time you see the words turning point in the story radically changes. Radically does.
Like I said, I'm not giving it up on it, so I'll believe you for now. With that said, that's all we got for today's reaction. And definitely, depending on the conversation, if like someone really needs to check out something, someone may react to something else anime related in the future. After the Super Bowl, Random is gonna start his manga read through, and he got a couple chapters to read. You see that donation goal?
Stop. I will delete this shit.
Make sure y'all are sending donations to get this man to finish Naruto. Naruto's the first series he's reading.
I'm already getting my mind right. I'll be fine. Also, we should talk about our members. Shout out to Just Lewis and Purple Political Breakdown for being our members. If you guys want to be a member, just go ahead and check out the tiers, our membership tiers. We're still working on it, but we want to get this membership thing going so we can share with you a lot more exclusive stuff that we
Yes, sir. Sauce. Yes, sir. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. So make sure you join our membership tier so we can share more exclusive stuff with you. Plus, also we're gonna do a kind of a big announcement in terms of our look on Tuesday. Radell, because I know we want to save it for then, but
Save what?
huge in terms of the new looks and stuff, and new processes. But hey, we got big things on the horizon. Radell says it all the time. We've been working on some stuff behind the scenes, and don't worry, the future is only getting brighter. Future's only getting brighter.
Facts, 100%, man. So we'll be well. I will. Don't know if Random's gonna be showing up, but we're reacting to some manga tomorrow before the big game. We're gonna react to some JJK. We're gonna react to some One Piece, My Hero, whatever is out that's popular. We're gonna be reacting to it. So, with that said, y'all have a good one. Take care and peace.
Later, guys.